I don't know about you, but I've seen countless talented consultants and coaches struggle to capture their ideal client's attention and persuade them effectively through their sales materials. Whether it's through your website sales page or a proposal to a potential client, understanding the anatomy of what makes them truly impactful is the key to your success. And welcome to the Enough Already podcast, the show for consultants and coaches who want to forge their own path to success in their career and their life. I'm your host, Betsy Jordyn, and today we're talking about how you can structure your sales pages and your proposals, not just to grab attention, but hold it and persuade potential clients and get them to be converted into paying clients. We're going to explore the secrets behind structuring your sales pages on your website, on your proposals, and incorporating persuasive elements that gets people to say yes, 1,000 times yes to the idea of working with you. So this particular episode is part of a mini series that I am starting, or that we're actually in the middle of, on framing, describing, and pricing your offers. So if you've ever wondered how to make your sales pages and proposals stand out, this episode is for you. And of course, I offered you last week my brand new freebie. It's all about offer creation, and it's a guide that helps you create these offers that attract and convert clients. So definitely go to www.betsyjordyn.com/framing-offers-blueprint and learn how to get clients excited to work with you. So before we get started on how to structure your website, your sales page, or proposal, I want to help you get clear on the purposes and goals of all three of these because they're not exactly the same. So on your website, you're going to have a services page, and this gives clients the gist of the services you offer, how you work with people, and their features and benefits. There's only one goal if you're a consultant or coach for a website services page, and that is to book a call. So that's the call to action. You want people to call you, but your website services page is not designed to land those clients. It might be a sales tool that you might use to help describe things when you get somebody on a call, but that in itself will not land clients, especially if you're looking to create packages and offers that have more value. Like nobody's going to say, click add to cart, for $100,000 contract for consulting. Like that's just not realistic. Or even a $5,000 program that you might offer as a coach. You need to get people on a call. So you have to understand that you're not trying to create a services page that does everything for you. There also, though, that said, there are long-form sales pages. So long-form sales pages are highly targeted and persuasive pages to sell a specific offer. So this is usually for lower priced offers. It might come for a slightly higher one if you're at the end of a webinar, but the goal here is to get people to buy now. So these are longer. There is a lot more details in a long-form sales page. And then there's a proposal. And this is a formal document that offers a more customized solutions to a client's specific needs or problems. The proposal does get people to buy now. So if you're a consultant working with an organization, or if you're a coach working with an organization, your website services page is designed to get people on a call. Your proposal is what closes the deal. If you're a coach working with individuals, you may have a long-form sales page for, let's say, a group program that people can buy now that you might have there, but your services page also is still there for booking a call. So I hope that's clear on the calls to action. And you also have to look at just, the level of price points. So when you want to think about like your website services page, again, the goal is to get people on a call because the price is high. The long-form sales pages usually aren't that high in terms of the pricing because people will need to jump on a call with somebody or have more personal for bigger investments. And the proposals are for premium pricing. So if you are working in an organization, I highly recommend that you create custom proposals because it's worth your time when you think about the amount of money that's on the table and the possibilities that are there. So now you're clear on the three different forms that you might be communicating your offers. Now let's talk about the anatomy of these high impact sales pages and proposals. The word impact is important because I've created an acronym to help you understand the structure of these pages. So regardless if it's a long form sales page, a website services page, or a proposal, they're all going to follow the same format. So when you are writing your copy for a services page, long form sales page, or proposal, you want to begin with the I. The I is identify with the person that you want to help and their pain. Now, this comes after you have your headline. So no matter what, if you have a long form sales page or a website services page, you're going to have a hero section that's going to have a headline that kind of gives the gist of the promise that you are offering with the particular service or your collection of services. Or you might have a title page on your proposal. But when you're really getting into the meat of everything, you begin with identifying with the person you want to help and their pain. So this is about empathizing with your target audience by showing them you get them, you understand their problems and their pain points and their challenges. It shows them that you're the person for them. You establish more credibility by showing your understanding of somebody than you will ever show by sharing your credentials. The more that you can get into their heads, the more they're like, oh my gosh, you're reading my mind. Like I got an intro call with someone the other day who I really appreciated the conversation. And she's like, wow, everything that you write on your website or in your content, it feels like you're reading my mind. And it's like, wow, I've done a good job from that standpoint because I've worked really hard over the last few years to get inside the heads and the hearts and the minds of my clients. And it's really important that you get them. So let's say that you're a health coach, your first section. So there's a content block right at the beginning of your website services page, or if you're doing a long form sales page, or you're doing a situation summary in a proposal, you would say, I get you. I understand that you're struggling to lose weight and that you've tried all kinds of different things and they're just not working and you're frustrated and you're ready to throw in the towel. Or if you're a business consultant, you can still be empathetic. That you don't have to be empathetic like a lot of people think like, oh, well, executives don't want empathy. Yes, they do. They want understanding. So you could say, I get it. You're trying to scale up the business, but you're struggling with XYZ challenge and it's getting in your way and it's frustrating. It's not like you just have to sit there and do a therapy session with an executive, but you could still show them that you get them. You understand where they're coming from. And so again, where this would be is on your website. There's a content block that begins with something like, are you struggling with, and then bullet, bullet, bullet. Or in your proposal, it would be your situation summary, and which is really a summary of the context that got a client to sign up for a free intro call or discovery meeting with you. Now, if you're not clear on what a website structure looks like or a proposal, head on to www.betsydordan.com/downloads, and I have a website blueprint that you can use that will help you kind of follow along with that. And I also have my proposal template that will also help you follow along. So the action for the I part of your sales page or your proposals is to join the conversation that is actually inside the heads of your ideal clients and mirror back to them their pain points that they experience from their perspective. Now, what you don't want to do is lead the witness, which would mean is you're somebody who's looking for a consultant. You're somebody who wants a coach. That's not the pain point. Nobody's sitting up at night and say, oh my gosh, can I please get a consultant? Can I please find a coach? They're going to be sitting up at night worrying about their pain. And so you want to take that understanding, that insight into that and mirror it in your copy. One of my favorite hacks with website copy at this point in time is when you do interviews with people, capture it and use those exact words. That's a great hack, and it's ethical because you are actually using their words and mirroring it back to them. So that's the I, is identify with that ideal client. The M is magnify their ambitions and aspirations. This step involves really highlighting the dreams, goals, and aspirations of your ideal clients and making it feel achievable. So it's motivates them to say, yeah, this is the problem that you have. And this is what life could be like when this problem is solved. This is what's possible for you. So you're amplifying what it is that they want and why it is so frustrating that things are getting in their way. So if you're a career coach, let's say, maybe on this section of your website, you're going to say something along the lines of like, imagine yourself if you landed in the C-suite. Imagine what it would mean to your family. Imagine how it would feel to you to land this kind of role. You'll magnify that. So you're going to really just bring people into it. If you're working with somebody who's helping them, overcome burnout, you would say, imagine if you have like the energy as the day is long, and say stuff like that. So it's that picture this section. Imagine this could be you on your website page or on your proposal. It would be outlining the goals that a client wants to achieve with your help and why achieving those goals really matter. So the action item, here's the next step. What I want you to think about how to do more in your copy when you are describing your offers is put the most strategic and inspirational frame around what the client wants to achieve or create, and paint a very compelling picture of their life, their career, their business, if and when they achieved it. So what you're doing when you are articulating that is you are helping them say to themselves that solving this problem is worth it. It is so worth it. And it is so meaningful for me to really take action. This is not about whether they work with you or not. It's just that if I can achieve this goal, it will make a huge impact. Because this sets the frame for the P part. So first you identify with your ideal clients, then you want to magnify what their ambitions are and their aspirations. Now we're at the P, which is present your solution and its features and benefits. So now you've got the client really clear, like, oh, you get me, you get me, you get me. Yes, it's super important that I solve this problem. And now here's your solution. Oh my gosh, it's the solution I've always been waiting for. And so what you're doing is you're showing them that this is your problem. These are the goals. Now here's the solution that I offer. And it helps them clarify that there's an answer to the problem that they've been having, whether they've been fully conscious of it or not. Now they have it. And so this is where you're going to present the features. So let's say you have a leadership coaching program. You might do the offer. In the last episode on this, in the podcast, I talked more about the importance of the features and benefits. This is where you start articulating those features and benefits. If you're a leadership coaching program, you're going to present the features of your offer, like personalized coaching sessions, and perhaps like an assessment of some kind and ongoing coaching. And then you're going to talk about the benefits, improved leadership skills, career advancement, and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to put that offer in that and it shows like how this is like a very compelling solution to the ideal client's problems. So on your website, this is where you start detailing out what your solution is. So what kind of solution is it? Are they going to get personalized guidance? Is it customized solution? Or is it maybe a group program or something along those lines? And then it clarifies like what people will get as a result of this and the benefits that they'll get from that. In your proposal, there's a section that you'll go through where you're going to give them options of increasing value and the features and benefits of those offers. All of this together is they have a problem, you have the solution. Now they're going to start to see that, yes, investing in this solution is the exact right thing for them. So your action is be clear on what kind of solution you're offering, how it's unique, the features, and the benefits they'll get because of those features. So now we're ready to add in the next letter in our model. So I is identify with the ideal clients, magnify their ambitions and aspirations, and then P is present your solution. A is add in testimonials of transformation. So anytime that you are making a promise of something that's going to create value for them, you want to add in that social proof right then and there. So this is about creating compelling benefit-driven testimonials from clients who have experienced transformation through your offer, through your services. So what this does is it builds that trust and credibility because you're making this really great promise. They're really excited about it, but then there's going to be that question like, is this person really going to deliver on this? I really hope so. I'm concerned that they might not. So you definitely want to be able to share these benefit-driven testimonials. The testimonials that you don't want to say something like, oh my gosh, Betsy's so great to work with. She's so on top of it. And I love how she responds to my emails right away. That's not the testimonials you want. You want to be able to say, as a result of working with Betsy, I was able to double my revenue. That's a benefit. You want to focus on that. Or if it's not quite as sticky to say double my revenue, you can talk about before and after stories. So you could say if something like, let's say something's intangible like burnout. You would say, like this is what this person was like before they had a burnout story. They were exhausted every night. They had no energy. They were snippy with their family. After they had so much energy and they were able to create more, be more present with their family and all those other things. So you could just at least paint that before and after story and have somebody talk about that after story. That's what people are really interested in. So on your website, whenever you make a promise, add a benefit-driven testimonial. This is why on a homepage of a website, it's really good if you have logos of past clients that you work with, that you put it right there, because it shows like, oh yeah, there's credibility here. And on your proposals, you could add in clients' case studies. So one of the things that I used to do when I was working in corporate as a consultant, I would add in case studies that were relevant at the end of in the appendix of my proposal. And then I would put like a note, like read more case studies at the end of it. So that gives people more confidence, like, yes, you are somebody who delivers results. So your action item here, start now to create a bank of benefit-driven testimonials and case studies. So one of the things I help my clients with when we work together is I give them like specific questions that you can ask to get a really good benefit-driven testimonial. And so that you could have them structured, set up, ready to go. I have a bunch of testimonials that I just draw from whenever I'm creating different things so that I don't have to, make it up from scratch. So always be in the practice of getting these benefit-driven testimonials and case studies. So now we're on the C of my impact model, and C is clear calls to action to move clients to the very next step. So the thing is about a website, a proposal, or anything that converts, you need to have clear calls to action that leads to that conversion. That's why having a beautiful website without really compelling copy doesn't create the results that you might be looking for in terms of a conversion standpoint. So you need to be very straightforward around what's that person supposed to do next. So it eliminates confusion and it helps the client know this is what I'm supposed to do. So on your website, these are those big call to action buttons that may say something like book a call now or enroll today or download now. Again, you're not going to say enroll today on a large ticket item. It's going to be call now. But if it is a lower ticket item, you might say enroll now. Anything under $500, you could probably say is an enroll now. Anything above that, you need to think about how you pair it with something else. If it's a freebie, download now is just fine. On your proposal, it's your acceptance page. This is where people have an opportunity to sign on the dotted line for real. So you want to have clarity on what the action is. So your action item is to be clear on the next step and make sure the language reflects clearly that next step. So if it's learn more and you click to a book a call page, that's going to be confusing. If it's learn more, then it's going to be moving somebody to another page where they can learn more. If it's book a call, then it should go to either your online calendar or a page that features your online calendar and explains what people will get from that call. Okay, now we're at the T. This is the final, is take away the risk with a guarantee. So this stuff makes sure that people who are going to be super excited. So think about what you've done on your sales page or on your proposal at this point in time. You have convinced your client that they have a problem and it's worth solving. You've also convinced your client that this is a great solution and it has a lot of possibilities, but they're going to have this little question like, well, what if it doesn't work? Especially if people have been burned in the past and they just might be risk averse in general. So having some sort of guarantee really helps close that deal. So you might say something like, hey, try our coaching program for risk-free for 30 days or 100% money back guarantee if you're not satisfied. And I think that those are fine. Like if you are selling like a group program or if you're selling a course, I probably would say something more along the lines when you're dealing with consulting or coaching because of the subjective nature is the guarantee I would suggest is something along the lines of, I'll deliver on my promises. And if you don't feel like I did, I'm going to work with you for no additional expense consideration. That's the guarantee I've used as a consultant. That's the guarantee I use with my clients. So for example, with my brand messaging and positioning program, it's like let's say I offer it as a 30-day-ish kind of program, but I offer them my clarity guarantee. It's like as long as you show up and you continue to do the work, and if the muse doesn't show up and you don't have clarity quite yet, I will work with you until you get that clarity, but you have to continue to show up and do the work. Like you can't just disappear and get super busy and dip out of the work. You have to really be in the work. So you might say something like that. If you are working with a large corporate organization though, I wouldn't even do that. I would for sure not do that. The only guarantee is what I just mentioned. I would not do that because everything changes so much and there's so many variables outside of your control that you don't want to do that, and there's too much money on the line. So I would probably just say is if you don't feel like I delivered on my accountabilities, I will work with you for no additional expense consideration. So your action is to think about what kind of guarantee you can offer that will instill confidence in your potential clients and how you can communicate this guarantee clearly and prominently in your sales materials. And also think about the terms and conditions. So you might be able to say something along the lines of, here's the agreement, but here's the payment. Like if you're going to put a pause on the program, payments are due, as promised or something along those lines so that the guarantee doesn't put you in a funky bind. So those are the elements of a high impact sales page and proposals. So we went over all of the different purposes and goals for a website services page, a long form sales page, and a proposal, and the anatomy of all of those pages so that your offers can come across as compelling and irresistible to your potential clients. And I gave you a bunch of actions that you can implement right now. What I would recommend you do first is just take a look at your sales pages and your proposal and see how well they align to this impact model. As I mentioned, of course, I have my offer creation blueprint at www.betsydordan.com/framing-offers-blueprint. But I also think you should look at my downloads. Go to betsydordan.com/downloads to look for my website, blueprint, and my proposal template. This will give you an idea around like how this impact model can play itself out in a couple different formats. But if you really are just like excited about the idea of like, gosh, I could really just tweak up my structure and how I'm framing up my offers, and I just want to make them have greater impact like right now, and you don't want to do it on your own, you could also head on over to my website at betsydordan.com/schedule and book a call with me, and we will look at your sales pages, your proposals, and we're going to figure out what we can do to really make them pop, make them sizzle, and get the clients super excited to work with you. So next week, I'm going to be wrapping up my Offer Clarity series with a conversation about the psychology of marketing and sales, and particularly pricing. So I'm not going to get into all the details around, all the stuff with pricing because it's a very complicated topic, but I'm going to show you some tweaks you can make to your pricing and the psychology behind them to get more people to say yes to working with you. And we're going to talk about the ethics of them so that you can make choices that really align with your own values. So make sure you hit subscribe wherever you're listening or share with a colleague. And until next time, thanks for listening. Thank you for tuning in. If today's episode lit a fire in you, please rate and review Enough Already on Apple Podcasts or subscribe wherever you listen. And if you're looking for your next step, visit me on my website at betsydordan.com, and it's Betsy Jordyn with a Y, and you'll learn all about our end-to-end services that are custom designed to accelerate your success. Don't wait. Start today.